while since I've posted a video, and I apologize for that. I have been working on the transmission, trying to get some things figured out on that. I am going to have to make some changes. So basically this is just an update, and you'll see sort of what direction I'm going with this project. I ended up changing the shaft that runs the drive wheels. I'm using 1-inch threaded rod, and I'm going to use that to attach all the different components to drive the drive wheels in the transmission. So the first thing I do, I made a couple of bearing holders, and that's actually welded underneath this angle bracket. It's hard to see from this position, and that's what holds the shaft. Then I welded a 1-inch nut to a motorcycle brake disc, and then that gets threaded on. And then I have a pulley, and these are just regular car pulleys, and I welded a nut onto that. What I'm going to do is later I'll drill holes and put a spring pin into these to keep them from being able to spin off or to move. By using the threaded rod, it does help me align everything up easier, so I'm able to position the different components exactly where I need them. One of the potential issues that I may have is slipping. So what I may do is, if I have to, I may add an extra pulley to each side, so it'll be a double drive. It'll actually be 2 belts on each side, and that should help. Basically, I'm just going to have to try and see how it works. Now for the drive sprocket here, I was able to get a used, damaged rim and take out the center splines, which is actually a steel insert, and weld that to a sprocket. And that's how I slid that over the end here of where the this is the end of the transmission for the scooter motor. And I'm using 520 chain, and I just welded a 1-inch nut to the sprocket on the back, and then that runs through 2 bearings on either side, and that runs 2 pulleys, and then those 2 pulleys run through the belts to either side. And I'm just using 1 pulley on each side right now, 1 belt. I'm thinking about doubling that up. But first I'm going to try to change the way that I engage and disengage the belt in the back. I think I'm going to do it a different way. But I have the brakes set up, so the idea is on the handlebars on the front you have a brake on the right, a brake on the left. If you hit both brakes together, the vehicle will stop because it's using a scooter motor and transmission, so it won't stall. As long as the steering is in a straight line, then the tension will be on both of these pulleys, meaning there will be traction to both of the wheels in the back. But you will be able to stop in a straight line. Then the idea is if you steer to the left or to the right, you'll either be able to steer and it will release tension on one of the sides of the belts and allow it to gradually steer to the left or to the right, or if you turn the steering wheel and apply the brake, it'll rapidly turn to the left or to the right. This is the mechanism I have right now. If you turn the steering wheel, it will release or disengage the belt in the back. Right now I'm using it from underneath, and I'm thinking about getting a smaller belt, 1 inch smaller, and doing it the opposite, have the tensioner from the top pushing down, because I'm still not getting a ton of, with the force that I'm using, even with this chain that I'm using, I'm not getting a lot of pressure, so I'm going to have to rethink that. Hello, this is another quick update video on my tracked vehicle. I was having the problems with the belt slipping, and so what I've decided to do is change the belts out and make what's called a Davies belt, and basically you're using the same materials, the same belt material, and you're reinforcing it with a chain. Now I'm using a bicycle chain, but just to try this out and see how it works. So that's what I'm demonstrating right now. I installed both of them. The idea was not to have to modify the transmission at all. So as you can see, I installed it on the existing pulleys using the existing tensioner. And the idea is that I didn't want to have to change anything just to see if this will work, to see if the belts are going to end up working. Alright, so this is my first test run. You can see that I'm using the brakes, and it steers really good. The pulleys were slipping just right, and it seemed to work pretty good. I get a pretty good speed here, and the brakes are working and it's steering. So the next test is to actually test it in the mud. So there's a place nearby, and I'm going to give it a try. Let it run through some water and some mud. It's been raining a lot here, so see what happens. Okay, as soon as I hit this mud puddle right here, boom, my belt starts slipping, and that's it. So I guess there is a place for belts, but not for off-road. I'm going to end up doing something different. I still got another idea, something else to try. So I will keep you guys posted and see what I can come up with. Thanks for watching.